So what I got is so far the worst guest I've ever had in terms of pickiness and overhead. So I have a guest who's been...
Congrats. Welcome to the
30. I somehow thought you were going to say that.
It's part of the business.
Here's exactly my question is how do you interact with those people or deal with those people? I have someone who actually won't interact with me. At first, she went to the building leasing office, and me and Airbnb got her straightened out about that, but she doesn't interact with me. She interacts with Airbnb.
That's fine.
Somebody with 0 reviews who I think this is like their first Airbnb ever.
How long is the reservation for?
It's for 30 days and there are about 20 days remaining.
Do you want to keep them?
Say again?
Do you want to keep them as a guest?
I don't know yet. I'm leaning towards no, but that could be my personal feelings versus what's a good business decision.
Okay, so what we do basically is we communicate via Smart B&B most of the time to say, if you would like to cancel, and we give them all of Airbnb's information. We do not do any of the canceling. We say, we're sorry, and we try to resolve every single issue that they put forward to us that is within our power to resolve. But if we can't, maybe it's best they cancel and you lose the 20 days. I don't know. Jay might have something different, but this person who gave us, who sent us all these pictures this past week, we communicated with them. We involved Airbnb, and in the end, he canceled, and we were not penalized because Airbnb could see that he was just looking for every excuse in the book.
Right. Did he get a refund or no?
No, he got a refund for the nights that he did not stay.
Okay.
We don't refund for nights that he stayed. Absolutely not.
Here's the pause that the hesitation is that I just had a guest stay. It was also her first time in an Airbnb. I went over this with Wendy, and she gave me a bad review, and I got one of those emails from Airbnb saying, if it drops, we're going to deactivate your listing for 5 days, blah, blah, blah. But basically, she was not responsible for any of her behavior and really said things that weren't accurate. And I'm not. I've worked with Airbnb, open an investigation. At the end of the day, they didn't do anything about it. And my TV remote and garage key fob wound up missing, even though my cleaners confirmed that they left it there, and I was in the unit 2 days before she checked in and it was there. So I don't want to get into a situation where I get bad reviews I didn't earn, which I understand that could happen, but I think that's what I'm sensitive about.
Okay, but did you charge her for the remote and everything?
I tried to. Airbnb did not, they didn't make her pay, and they didn't pay.
And they didn't pay. And did you respond to the negative review online?
I did.
So I'm sure Wendy gave you fabulous advice on how to deal with it. It's not an easy situation. I'm just wanting to make sure. But for this one, if you want, if you're anxious to get rid of this person, you send her, again, we don't do any of the canceling, and you try and sort out and resolve all of the issues, and you say, and everything there should be a string of messages everywhere so that Airbnb can see it.
So Della, with this current guest, she complained the first night that the next door neighbor, who is a building resident, was loud all night. The noise aware data confirmed that. She then asked me if I had the unit next door on the other side, which I do. But she asked through Airbnb, which is fine, which is weird. And she wants to move into that unit, but she's insisted on seeing the unit first after it's cleaned. I'm like, well, due to COVID, it doesn't really work that way. However, here's all the pics, here's the listing, it's decorated exactly the same way. The color scheme's a little different and the layout's exactly the same. And she's insisting through Airbnb that she get to see the unit before. And I asked her, so can you tell me what question you have or what issue you have that seeing the unit would resolve? And no response so far.
I would stick to your guns about not seeing it during COVID, because then you would have to pay for the cleaners to come back in. Yeah,
exactly. And I thought about offering her to go see it if she paid for it to be cleaned afterwards in advance. But I have it like that would be perceived as insulting. This is somebody who complained about that. She didn't want to bring the garbage bin back inside after it was emptied because it was dirty and she didn't want to touch it. But then also complained the same day that the gym and the pool were only open during working hours and she's working remotely from the unit. And that's inconvenient for her. It doesn't work for her. And my response was, wait, so help me understand how due to COVID, you're uncomfortable touching the garbage can, but having more people in the pool more often with you using it or in the gym is more COVID friendly. Like, I'm just trying to understand what your concern is, and no response. And it just sounds to me like you just have to let it go, Derek. I mean, you can communicate with her only when she communicates with you, and that's it. And if she's bothering you, then I would just contact Airbnb and say, here, this is my string of messages with this guest. I'm having difficulty with her. I just want to advise you. That's it. Thank you. All right, so I got it. Sorry, I can't fix it for you. We all get them.
So here.
Woo! Can I just say one thing before you say that? So here's what I'm actually discovering out of learning from this guest is that I have been this way with people, with businesses, and it's so. Can I just be like on the street for a second? It's so super shitty. I'm like, oh my God, I will just never be this way with people.
So let me just tell you one thing. When I first started with Jay, I was giving away the farm. I think I've told this story before, Jay. And I like couldn't stand it. Just couldn't stand it, like wanting to please everybody. And now no more. Like, that's it, finished.
Yeah.
This is business. So you just do. And when you've had enough, involve Airbnb. That's what they're there for.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Let everyone knows it is that very situation that inspired me to create more jobs and call it a customer experience department because I could not do it. I was at my end. I almost quit the business because I could not do it anymore. When you get that type of, it comes in all sizes, all kinds of questions, from how do I turn on the light to, hey, the neighbor next door is smoking, but don't worry about it. We brought our own filter machine. And then later finding out in the review that they're upset that they had to use their own filter machine, but never gave us a chance, to getting a 4-star review for not having a recycling bin, to people mad that we didn't have someone to come park their car, which I don't even know where that came from. But that was the stuff.
Yeah.
That I'm telling you, I was like, I don't need this. I can't do this. No, it is not worth it. And I don't know who talked me off that ledge, but that's when it became, I have to find someone else.
How many units did you have at that point?
20, maybe. I don't know.
Oh, okay, yeah.
10.
I need to get more units.
I don't remember. I was done. That's all I know. I was done. I did not care how much money. I just was done. I'm like, this is for the birds. I
didn't charge you enough.
But I was just done. I was done because I'm like, this does not work for me. I can't handle this. I mean, I don't know how to tell you you're being stupid right now without telling you you're being stupid right now. Because I can't tell you you're being stupid right now, but I want to. And the way you're acting is like, can I send this screenshot to your mom? Because I need to do something because you clearly have lost it. And reason why you need a system. Go ahead.
The guest who just left and gave me a bad review gave me feedback on Airbnb saying the address was wrong. And I'm like, no, I sent you a screenshot of the address in our check-in message. The address is right. You drove to the wrong building.
Oh, we're not going to talk about the numbers. Oh, we're not going to talk about that. We can't. It took me forever to get there. I was all backwards. Yeah, it's because you don't know how to use Google Maps. What do you want from me? Like, oh, man. Woo, bro, you just so many nerves.